All right, everyone, welcome. So I heard the US government is shut down. So probably that means there's going to be no NFP today. I think so. I don't think there's going to be any NFP today. No NFP today. Let's take a look over here. Okay, what's this? People, assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam, sir. How are you? Ustad Muhtaram. Wa alaikum salam. Ustad Muhtaram. Let's see here. We got. I don't think so. I don't think so. Any idea of futures profit from Dominion? No, not yet. Futures is a whole nother deal. That's a whole nother beast. I don't know much about futures. So far, there's no futures incoming on Dominion. Same Arabic. All right. So, I mean, right now, I don't see any volume coming up. I don't see any volume. My tea is not hot enough. What else we got to do? We have to order some food today for the boys on Friday. How much weight you lift for deadlift? I don't do deadlifts. Put that on 5092 heater. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy a lot of. I'm gonna start to build a computer now. I'm gonna buy some stuff tomorrow, and I'm gonna build another PC. Oh, talking about PCs. See over here. Order food from Kita in use. They have free delivery. They have 50% off for new customer.
What's up?
Hey, bro. Listen, so I want you to start rendering some 3D stuff and to monitor the temperature.
Okay, we'll do that right now.
Okay. The temperature for the processor and the GPU.
Okay.
But it should be the processor.
Okay, we'll do that right now.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, bye. Order food from Kira in UAE, they have free delivery and they have 50% off for new customer. No, I don't support that. You know, because who pays for that 50%? The poor restaurants. The restaurants pay for that. You know, so if I have a restaurant and I have Kira, and now I'm gonna no, it's bad for business. It's very, very bad for business. Very bad for business. So I don't support that. I'd rather pay full price to support a business than to save 50%. Like, what am I gonna save? 100 dirhams? $30 I'm gonna save? $30? No, man, no. Here's the thing. I've never focused on saving money. Never. I've focused on saving money. You know, and a lot of people would tell me in the beginning, hey, Raja, you should focus on saving money. I've never focused on saving money. I don't believe in the whole idea about saving money. Okay, let's pause that. My voice is very, very bad. Okay, let's see here. Let's go over here. 1800. 2 years ago, price on gold was at 1800. Crazy times we're in now. Where's this price? Price is gone on gold. Can't even see the price on gold now. Let's see here. Close this. Maybe bring up a new chart. Wow, this thing is still pushing bullish. Dominion Dark. Trade. New all-time high now. Yeah, man, definitely. This is some new stuff happening now at this point. Some new all-time highs. Yeah, this was a great buy here. This was a great buy here where Chris mentioned. Was it the same on the 1 hour time frame? Right over here as well, just as soon as the candle started. Took 1 hour impulse entry at London Open. Beautiful. All right, let's take a look at some let's see here. Gold sick, I missed it. YouTube claim previous. In 30-minute, gold created a bearish candle that instantly made a bullish candle. How do I take an entry there? Look at the 15-minute time frame. Chris literally talked about this in the chat. Where was this? Let's take a look at this chat over here. We're looking at this chat right here. Take a look at that. Chris literally talked about this in the chat. It was self-explanatory. This was an impulse entry right over here. As the 15-minute candle is breaking the high to come up to this resistance we had over here. And if you look at this, how do you exit? Let's take a look at this range. Okay, let's take a look at this range. This was a 80 pip range. Here's the thing. When you miss a trade, just don't be emotional when you miss the trade. Look at it logically. You told to avoid impulse entry. Of course, I told you to avoid impulse entry. If you don't know how impulse entries work, you should definitely avoid impulse entries. And you should just focus on candles closing. That's it. So you look at the candle right over here. We closed bullish. This was great entry for price to move up. Right over here as well. Candle, if you look on the 15-minute right over here, and please don't say you told not to look at the 15-minute, because if you look at the volume on the 15-minute candles, and if you use your brain, then you would know, okay, there's a lot of volume on the 15-minute candles. Look, we created support. This candle broke above this area. We broke above this resistance. And then, look at the size of the 15-minute candle. It's like a 51 pip 15-minute candle. Candle closed. You took an entry. Price moved up. Right over here as well. This was an impulse entry and trend right here when price moved up. But, I was looking at the 2 years ago of the volume in the candles. And 2 years ago, when you look at the volume in candles, man, 2 years ago, it was like, 15-minute candle was like 20 pips, 30 pips, something like this. But now the entire dynamics have changed. Also the interesting thing is, so now we have clients on Dominion markets and we have clients on Dominion funding. And what we're seeing is that there are more people in sales on Dominion markets, and there are more people in buys on Dominion funding. It's just very weird. Let's take a look at this. NTLT. Buys. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. NTLT, why did you take this trade? What was the reason you took this trade? Huh? But that was a very, very good trade. Secured 50 pips. Beautiful. Mahan Tanesh. Let's take a look at this. Let's see here. Oh, the page we're looking for is not available. Wow, straight rejection. I want some sort of a market structure to form now. Literally, because this is where we got support over here on the 30-minute, 15-minute, on the 30-minute as well. That's the support. So at this point now, we'll just have to wait for some market structure, because I think the biggest volume came around New York's Asian session, and then we continue to push up. I passed my one-step challenge with gold buy. I also have instant count at 2%. Beautiful. Any advice? Just chill. Just wait for the next day. If you're profitable the first day, great. Just wait for the next day now. That's all what you can do at this point. Okay, let's see here. What do we got? We are looking at... Wow, YouTube guys are going nuts over here. Let's take a look at this. The market is restarting. Yes. Broke the high to fill the wick to the left. Beautiful. Do you expect corrective moves on gold anytime soon? I don't know. Anytime it seems like things are going to calm down, some wild news comes out from the US and things just go sideways. What happened to your voice? It looked like you have a bad throat. Yeah, my voice is done. My voice is finished. From all the talking in the last, from all the talking in the last, 3 days, 4 days, it's finished. Uh, Omar Shafiq, Market Fluidity member, washed our accounts and said, I'm working on Raja strategy. Yeah, well, how's that my fault? Too much talking at the expo? Yes. Yeah, too much talking at the expo. Let's take a look at this chart over here. My trade yesterday at pre-NY. What's this? Clean range of 100 pips, 15-minute candle. Next candle created a low. Okay. Broke the high, rejection, stop loss hit 1.2%. Go to the webinar of impulse entries because this wouldn't have been a good entry over here. 15-minute candle already moved too much. So I would have waited for at least this candle to close to see how this candle would close. Or I would have looked at the 30-minute candle, how the 30-minute candle was. So those things would have been important. Unlike right over here. Look how this candle closed. Look at this one right over here. The 30-minute candles, look. So from over here, the 30-minute candles moved, 170 pips. Next you had this 30-minute candle that basically created a speed bump or created some sort of a rejection for the next candle to move down. So I had to waited for the next candle. And if I look at the market structure on the 15-minute, this is what the market structure on the 15-minute was right over here. And that gave me an indication that, okay, well, maybe now the next candle can continue to push up. And we did. And then, it was just simple to trail the stops based on the 30-minute candles. It's also Wednesday as well. What happened to your voice? I don't know. This was a trade. I secured 50 pips. Oh, wow, look at that. And then we retraced. Very nice. What is this currency? This is gold. This is gold. Not a fun time if you're in sells on gold. What's your thoughts on BTC, USD next move? I don't know. I don't even know what's the price in BTC. What is this? Price in BTC, USD is, what is this? Ooh, 121. 120. Oh, no. Okay. I thought we've made the high on BTC. That's how much I follow BTC. We're at 121. I think we're just consolidating here now on BTC. I am 16 years old and I'm struggling to become like you. That's fine. You're 16, you're supposed to struggle. You're supposed to struggle till you're 25, till you're 30, to be honest. You're supposed to struggle. Life is, the meaning of life is struggle. When you're born, you struggle to walk. You struggle to talk. Struggle just begins from the time you take your first breath. Walking, talking, trying to run, trying to get good grades, trying to make money, trying to get a job. It's just struggle. Even at my point at this point, I still struggle. Struggle is very, very normal. What about London versus New York and why gold gives great moves on Asian session? Gold doesn't give great moves all the time at the Asian session. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes. Sometimes it happens like that. Your struggles are different. You are top G. Thank you. But once I was not a top G. I don't think I'm a top G. But once I was not a top G. Once I was not. I think the one thing that really changed for me was being very, very active on social media. That's one thing that changed a lot of things. Being very, very active on social media and doing live streams. That changed a lot. I was having a conversation yesterday with somebody, and we were having a conversation about how that one person does not want to be on social media because they're afraid of what people may think. They're afraid of some sort of a backlash or something. And I said to them, look, like in school, you're afraid of what kids might think. So it's normal. People will think whatever they want to think. But at the end of the day, what matters is what you think about yourself. 170 pips by current. Oh, wow. Look at this. 170 pips. Very, very nicely done. What's this? GTC Global. GTC Global. Bro, why are you on GTC Global? Move over to Dominion Markets. GTC Global 58 minus 7. Yeah. Move over to Dominion. I am not able to verify my Dominion account. Oh, go there right now. I tell my team like what the problem is, and we'll do it for you. Look, you're paying 1.8 pip spread over here. Our spread is 1.5. 0.3 pips makes no difference, but still. But still. Yeah, do it. Let me know my email. I'll let my team know. I don't even know what the issue is. Yeah, bro, we can do that. But shouldn't your team know what some sub is? This is my thing. Like, how do you guys don't know what some sub is? It's hilarious at this point. You're like you guys should know what some sub is. But yeah, no problem. We'll do a demo. But it's going to be very frustrating for my team because if I tell this to my team that we have to do a some sub demo, they'll say, "Holy shit! Like, how do you guys don't know what some sub is?" Every time I tried to look for sells on gold, whenever it created resistance, 1 hour always it couldn't take an entry in 30 minutes because the previous bearish candle to take an resistance. Yeah, don't look for sells. Just look for buys on gold. Just look for buys on gold. That's it. Looking for buys on gold is going to really help you. Look at this. Majority of my trades on gold has been buys. Buy. Majority has been buys. Buys over here. This was a sell, whatever. And then buys. Yeah, in the last 3 months, majority of the trades has been buys. One trade in the last 3 days. Can you explain what potential setups for gold? Potential setups for gold? Probably waiting for this 30-minute candle to close and this 15-minute to see how we close. And if the next 15-minute can break above this high over here, impulse entry for price to push up. That's something what I'm looking at right now. Again, something I'm looking at. So I'm just going to wait for this candle to close. We have about, 6 minutes left. Four minutes left. Not yeah, whatever. Same thing. 4, 6, 5, 1, 2. Same thing. Brother, give Urdu English language on YouTube. No, only English. Learn English. I have a problem. Stop loss is bigger and bigger. Any idea for gold? Keep your lot size small. I'm new in market fluidity. Just wanted to know how to identify change of trend. Is it like if we are in bullish trend, next candle starts to break the previous candle high low, then change of trend? No. change of trend in gold is very difficult because of what's happening in the macroeconomic area, whatever the word is. Like, it's very, very difficult for the change of trend. But change of trend, don't focus on change of trend. Focus on what's your bias. Focus on that. So in my case, if I'm look, the spread on gold is less than a pip now. Less than a pip on Dominion markets. So GTC, FTC, FCC, whatever. One thing, what's going on? Currently now, -7. Great. Good for you. Right now, we're bigger than blueberry markets. We're doing more volume than blueberry markets at this point with Dominion. We're bigger than. Look, what kind of a name? Look, these are blueberries. I'm eating blueberries for breakfast. We're doing more. Oh, these are great blueberries. We're doing more volume than blueberry markets now. Bigger than blue. I eat blueberries for breakfast at this point. I made profit in every trade and setup. Lost all of the trades. I'm suffering to control my trading numbers. If you're suffering to control your trading numbers, just focus on 1 or 2 trades. If you're suffering with that, then that's something you need to deal with. We can't help you with that. You have to focus on 1 or 2 trades. We got about 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. David, what's your spread now? -8 now. Spread only matters if it's less than 2 pips, to be honest. When you are in a trade, so in what conditions you close 50% when price comes back to break even? I close 50% when price comes to break. Oh, yours 12 now. Oh, see, -8 now. Oh, equity. Man, you know what? Equity are the biggest crooks in the industry. You know what they're going to do? They'll have this dynamic leverage thing. And with that dynamic leverage, they will have these wild variable spreads, which you're going to get throughout the day. Wild variable spreads. And what's going to happen is based on volume, they'll be marking up and marking down the spreads. That's what's going to happen. What we have over here, we have like no markup on spreads. 0 markups on spreads. Try out the platform. That's what I tell everyone. Just try out the platform with $100, and see how you feel. My account has been disabled. How can I enable my account? You must have been using some EAs. But the best way to do that is to open up a ticket live on Discord and someone's going to get in contact with you. Just don't use EAs. Just don't use EAs. How do I have a clear bias? Send a chart. So what I'm looking at is this. Oh, wow. Look at this candle closing over here. If I'm looking for a sell, my sell is going to be below 40.25. I got a credit on my first deposit. Oh, wow, Sophia, amazing. Amazing, thank you. If a candle closes below 40.25, I'm going to be looking for a sell for price to fill this wick. A plus setup? No, there's no such thing as an A plus setup, B plus setup. Don't focus on that. Whoever tells you this is A plus, this is A minus, this is B plus, B minus, they're all full of shit. It's another way to sell a course that, we will teach you A plus setups. We'll teach you B minus. What the fuck is this? You're in university? There's no such thing as that. The only thing is you're looking at the charts, you're looking at the candles, and you're creating an intuition in your mind that, okay, this makes sense. Now, if I'm looking at this right over here, and if this candle makes a lower wick, which is less than 50% of this over here, breaks above the high, I'm going to be okay to look for a buy for price to push up. That's all what I'm looking at. Are Indians allowed to use Dominion markets? Why? What's wrong with you Indians? Why do you think you Indians are not allowed? Please answer this question. What's up with you Indians that you guys think you guys are not allowed anywhere? What sort of a mental trauma you guys are going through in India? People came to my booth at the expo, and Majority of them were from India, and they're like, brother, I'm from India. Can I trade on Dominion? I'm like, who's stopping you? Just do it. Who's stopping you? Someone stole magic keys from our booth. If no one's gonna stop you from stealing magic keys from our booth, who the fuck's gonna stop you from signing on to Dominion Markets? Who? Like, you got the balls to steal magic keys from our booth. India. Bro, my God. So hilarious. Seriously, some guy stole magic keys from our booth without this USB dongle. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do with the magic keys? What are you gonna do with this USB dongle? Bro, hilarious. I have a video of you saying, "Yo, Sophia, what the fuck?" Yes, I remember. I remember your boyfriend came over there. I remember he came there, and he's like, "Make a video." Ah, yes, I remember. That was hilarious. He's like, "Can you make a video saying, 'Hey, Sophia, stop over trading'?" I'm like, "Okay, I'll make it a serious video." Yeah. I'm from India. I'm using Dominion. There we go. Kirtan Mehta, thank you. Once you said few countries are not allowed. Yeah. America is not allowed. The United States of America not allowed. North Korea not allowed. The rest jump on. I hate compliance officers, man. Compliance officers are so dumb. I'm from the US. Wow. If you're from the US, just use some other, just for example, some people, they're using their UAE ID, and their as long as you have KYC from any country, utility bill, ID, you're good to go. But anything that says US, no, please, no. You're not welcome. Sorry to say. You can go over here, torax.com. This is where you can go if you're from the US. We have the same trading conditions over here if you're from the US. If price break 40.39, can we take a buy? I'm looking for a buy over there. 40.39 is far away. Maybe 40.38 for price to go to 40.40. Because, price goes towards the next, what? $5 increment. Man, these blueberries make your teeth purple. What's the spread on Dominion markets? Get in Biswas. Open your eyes. Like, what time is it there in India right now? In India, it's 11:12, 11:12. It's 1:30. You just woke up today, buddy? 1:30? What the fuck you doing waking up right now? What spread? Just look. It's 1 pip. 1.1 pip, sorry. 1.1 pip spread on gold. Okay, here we go. We're about to break above over here. I think this will be another great buy for price to move to 40.40. I think this will be a great opportunity. Since I already took a trade, I'm going to lower my risk. Stop loss is going to be guess. David, guess where the stop loss can be. Take a wild guess. Exactly. Below the open candle. You know what's a great snack you can have? This over here. Yogurt. Mango flavored Greek yogurt. As a new trader, should I use Dominion Markets? Yes. Deposit $100 and then play with that. Oh, here we go. We're about to break this area over here. We have broken above this area. Next stop, 40.40. 40.40 is next stop right there. Buy executed, question mark. Do you guys put your eyes in your pockets sometimes? Like, what's up? Is Zoom working correctly? One question, can we trade before Frankfurt or London Open? Yeah, you can. That's, oh, wow, whoa, 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 hold on there. What's going on? What's going on over here, buddy? Uh-oh. Record another educational video with a current voice. No, I'm going to wait for my voice to get better. If we break below this low, actually, we'll record a video today. Yeah, close 50%. Just going to manage risk over here. Yeah, I think it's better to manage risk there. Yeah, listen, but I need the address. I don't know where it is. I don't. Silicon Oasis is a big area. I need address. Man, so annoying. How much minimum deposit is required to get free access to Market Fluidity and Magic Keys? With Magic Keys, you need commission up to 180. You need to pay commissions up to 180. And for Market Fluidity, you get access to the very basic videos when you deposit, let's say $100. Christopher Aparicio. You can't trade on Dominion, but you can log on to Torah X. So I meant, okay, so look, I took a trade on 15 minute. The reason why is because the 15 minute has a lot of volume, right? Listen to this very, very carefully. Because the 15 minute has a lot of volume. Okay? I took a trade on the 15 minute. Now, I'm also keeping in mind that the daily candle has moved 540 pips. This is not normal. All right? This is not normal. So since I took an impulse entry as we broke above the high over here, I closed 50% once the 5-minute candle broke below this low. Because even the 5-minute candles are like 50 pip candles. Look at this candle. This is a 47 pip candle. This is a 63 pip candle. So I close 50%. How to close 50% in C Trader? Yeah, you just right click it and click on modify. Yeah, so right here I'll close everything. It's just not worth it at this point. Meeting here? Okay, no problem. It's going to close automatically. On mobile, I don't know. You'll have to. Oh, it's going to close automatically. Yeah, on mobile, you have to see. Wow, look at that. Yeah, I don't think we're going up anymore. Just managing risk. Trade lost, great. Impulse entries is the most difficult trading idea you will face. Impulse entries, the most difficult strategy. Because the losing rate is going to be there, the winning rate is going to be lower. So waiting for the candles to close is going to be better. Like right over here, this was the candle close, I took a trade. This was impulse entry, tried it, managed risk, whatever, it's fine. How can you determine your TP if there's no history on the left-hand side? What's this? Hello? Yeah, yeah. Yeah. हाँ ये अभी वापस लेके आए ना फरारी तो ये फिर रोल्स रॉयस लेके जाएगा उधर अपना रोल्स रॉयस के शोरूम या एग्जैक्टली तो रोल्स रॉयस निकलवा दो फरारी को वैसे ही रिवर्स में लगा दो फिर मैं फिक्स कर दूंगा ठीक है ओके या मैं कर दूंगा बस इसको वो ये रोल्स रॉयस ले जाइए और फरारी वहां पार कर दे ओके problems man the Ferrari came back had to change tires on it and now the Rolls Royce has to go मैंने आज ही आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी ज्वाइन की है. Welcome. Oh wow, look at that. So we are returning to. Should I give this trade a second chance? Ooh, just as I was supposed to do that. I think I will give this trade a second chance. 0603. Yeah, I think I'll give this trade a second chance. As it comes up to break above this high over here. जी सर क्या हाल है? अच्छा आप मुझे बताएं ना टोटल कितना होगा दो टोज का? यार फरारी है कोई बड़ा ट्रक थोड़ी है. हाँ नहीं यार पहले तो लोग वो लेते थे 150 200 तो वो लेते हैं जो फुल कवर्ड होता है ट्रक. नहीं जो वो रेंज रोवर लाए थे रेंज रोवर का तो आपने 150 लिया था. यार रेंज रोवर. हाँ हाँ हाँ. यार नॉर्मल कार तो फरारी तो उससे हल्की है गाड़ी है ना. हल्की है गाड़ी. आप मुझे सही सही रेट बताओ यार. आप मुझे सही. अच्छा तो उसके 50 एक्स्ट्रा होते हैं दरम उसके हैं यार बताएं ना. मैंने आपको परमानेंटली रखना है क्योंकि अक्सर हम गाड़ियां भिजवा देते हैं. वो चलें 400 कर देता हूँ मैं. अच्छा हाँ. नहीं ये पाम ऑटोस वाला मेरा दोस्त है. इससे बस मैंने वो कराया था टायर चेंज कराए थे. रायन. अच्छा बिल्कुल. वो क्या नाम है उसका उमर. वो बड़ा आरामी. ये रायन भी उससे तंग था. चलो ठीक है. अभी वहीं पर हो आप? ठीक है. ओके ओके. थैंक यू. Business. Oh wow, look at that. We closed now there's nothing. Now there's absolutely nothing. Why he has to talk about the cars now? Buddy, just leave the stream then if you're so what's the thing? If you're intimidated, just leave the stream. हाँ हेलो. यार ना इसको दे देना 400 दिरहम. ठीक है चलो. ओके. Buddy, I'm sorry if my problems are bigger than your problems. You're one trade away from. How do you know the candle has made a low, will not make a deeper low to make an impulse? We don't know until that happens. Like, that's the whole beauty about trading. We don't know until that happens. So look, this candle here, it made a low and it broke the high. So I took a trade for price to push up. And then I didn't know that it would make a lower low. I was like, okay, you know what? We can continue to push up towards 40-40. But then price just decided to make a lower low and it made a lower low and I managed my risk and closed the trade. We don't know if it's going to happen, but when this happens here, most of the time, you have to understand that, okay, what's the probability of this happening? There's a lower probability that this will happen. There's a higher probability that it will continue to push in your favor. So if you just continue to play on the same probabilities once or twice a day, that's it. No overtrade. When you overtrade, you're going to try to do the same thing every hour. You're going to lose. And then you're going to come on the stream and say everyone's a scammer. That's just what's going to happen. Bro, like I don't. What the shit is this, man? Whatever I try. One trade. Wow. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What was the trade on this 6th and 7th? What was the trade on 6th and 7th? Send me the trade. Send the trade here, the one you took on the 6th. And let's take a look at that together. Send the trade. If it breaks previous candle high, still verify. Nah, then I'm not. No, I'm not. I would want this candle to close now. Because I tried an impulse entry, didn't work. That's fine. Lost $6,700. That's fine. I'm just going to wait for this candle to break and close above this area. I'm just going to wait for a candle to break and close above this area. This morning when I woke up, the first thing I saw this morning was how different levels of wealth affect people. If you have, let's say, 5 million plus liquid, you stop worrying about utility bills. You stop worrying about the cost of schools, the cost of university. Traveling business class is just normal. You just do business class. When you have 50 million liquid, right, you start to then acquire land around your properties for privacy. Traveling private becomes normal. Traveling first class becomes normal. It's just normal like that. Once you cross $100 million, then your biggest problem becomes where to deploy your money for it to grow. That's the biggest over 100 million. Your biggest problem is where to deploy your money. Private schools, normal. Chefs, coaches, gym trainers, they come to your home. No problem. You just have properties. You don't even have to worry about how much money is coming in because someone's already taking care of that. So there's always different levels of different things. Okay, let's take a look at this over here. 6th. Okay. Ooh, what was this? Okay. Market closed above resistance, very strong. Next candle created a low, broke the high, clean range of 55th. What happened to the trade? Manage risk, entered. Okay. So when this candle closed with a small body, what did you do? When this candle closed with a small body? When a candle closed with a small body, you closed half. Great. And when this candle did not break the high and it started to go bearish, what did you do at this point? I would have closed another half at that point. Because when you close half, then you start to go in defensive mode, right? So now, think about this. Since I closed half, would I still be over risk man? No, not at all. When I close half, then I'm in defensive mode. When I close half, I'm like, okay, you know what? I've closed half now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue to close half. Just like this right over here. Like if I look at this trade, let's take a look at this on the 1 minute time frame. So if I look at this trade right over here, look, I took a trade, my stop loss was somewhere right over here. I took a trade, price came down, I closed half, it moved further down, I closed another half. Because when you're closing half in the beginning, you're accepting that this may not go in my favor. So it's okay to overmanage risk. It's okay. It's not an issue. I overmanage risk all the time. So in this case, let's say my stop loss was, oh yeah, where was my stop loss over here? I don't know. I think my stop loss was right over here. So I closed half over here and then I closed half here again, knowing that it may not go in my way. Still, it would be only like $40 less loss. I still don't, every month is like this. I don't feel so. Yeah, that's still fine. $40 profit and $40 loss are two very, very different things. That's a difference of $80 if you look at it that way. There's a difference of $80. No, here's the thing. Knowing 100% that a trade will not go in your favor and closing it out, that's still a win because now you're not losing what you plan to lose. That's the whole thing. This trade was like almost break even for me. Yeah, that's fine. Break even is better than losing $200. You know, break even is better than losing $200. Who will tell your audience that there's something called B-book trading? Yeah, there is something called B-book trading. buddy? Oh, what's this? Hello? नहीं हाँ बस स्टार रखते हैं बस ठीक है आप वो रोल्स रॉयस ले जाएं वो बाकी वो छोड़ दें फ्राई को जो मर्जी वो करें बस बस ठीक है ओके ओके but the thing is that I can't get profitable. It's a very, very damaging feeling. Okay, let's take a look at the next trade. Send the next trade. Let's take a look at that. When you are in a trade, so in what conditions you close 50%? Yeah, when price comes back to break even, I close 50%. I close 50% when price comes back to break even. Dominion funding prop. Dominion funding does not have live chat. Where the fuck are you doing live chat? Okay, let's remove this hater over here. David, let's take a look at the next trade. What's my recommendation on gold shorts? I'm going to look at gold shorts below 40.25. Below 40.25. Yeah, below 40.25. Below this market structure. I have to make a video today as well for blueberry markets. Someone wants to have a workout session with me tomorrow. Let's do it. Let's do it. So here's gold. It's great to meet you at the expo, Sharma Trader. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. The Rolls Royce, I know we have to do wheel alignment for the Rolls Royce. Should our education be priority or should we just gain exposure from it and focus on making money? No, your focus should be on education and testing things out in the market. That should be your focus. Making money will come with time. Okay, let's take a look at this chart over here. Yeah, look at this. This candle just moved too much. Too much. Maybe stop doing impulse entries. You know, maybe stop doing impulse entries. You may not get a trade every day. Maybe let's just stop doing impulse entries. You know, so make a note, right? Note number 1, you will not do impulse entries. Number 2, you will not do impulse entries when the previous candle has moved this much. Yeah. Let's just stop doing impulse entries, because the more you do impulse entries, the more you're going to trade, the more you're going to lose, more frustrated you're going to get. So just to protect your own sanity, just stop doing impulse entries and focus on candles closing. Let's just do that. Okay, can we agree to that? Let's just agree to that. I'm the one who made a video with you. Yeah, Daniel Holmes is a great guy. He's a great guy. These were the rules I made the starting of the month, so strict follow. Could you check after getting guidance from me? Yeah, let's take a look at these rules over here. London Open, trade for 1 hour, then close the chart. Great. Pre-New York, 2 hours, then close the chart. Yeah, don't trade. Choose just one session. Just choose one session, bro. One session. Gambling rule. Grab 50% of the whole clean range, 60 pip range, grab 30. You can bend this rule. You can bend this rule a little bit. If it's a 60 pip range, get like 20, 25 pips, call it a day. Call it a day. Although book some profit, yeah, Friday, try to book at least 70% at great. Instead of 70, do it 90. Do it 90. If there is only 15 minutes left for open of any session, try to avoid that trade. Amazing. If we get a trade 15-minute candle closing above resistance at 10 for a trade, don't take because could hit stop loss verification. Great. Great. Also, maybe eliminate impulse entry trades. Okay? Maybe eliminate impulse entry trades unless, man, these blueberries are making my mouth purple now. Okay, eliminate impulse entries unless they are really in your face. Okay, unless they're really in your face. This impulse entry is not in your face impulse entry. This is a very risky, difficult impulse entry. It's not in your face. Right over here as well, I think this candle moved a lot. If this candle would have broken the high of this candle, then it would have been better. But only if the impulse entry is in your face. And another thing I'll tell you, this candle body is way too big for this impulse entry to work. Like maybe starting off session impulse is a lot. Yeah, sure. But if this candle would have been smaller, then would have been great for an impulse entry. Like this one right over here. If this candle would have broken the high over here, would have been great impulse entry. Would have been great. So so add this to your rule as well that you will not take an impulse entry if the previous candle is like way too, like you look at it, it's like way too big. This is like the candle, like rock cocked hard all the way up. So maybe this was great impulse entry right over here. Look at this, right? This candle closed bullish, candle closed like this. Next candle broke the high to fill this range till whatever price this was, your purple line. Great impulse entry. So yeah, like look at what's happening in the previous one or two candles, and if there was an entry there. If you see there was an entry there, just say, "Oh, okay, you know what? There was an entry there, so I'm just not gonna focus on in any trade." I hope this gives some sort of an insight. But right over here now, I would wait for a candle to close above this area. Blueberries, okay, I follow you through and see, and yeah, exactly. And like what? If there's if the impulse entry is risky, it's a big candle, just don't do it because all I can see here is that you took an impulse entry here when the previous candle was too big, it didn't work out. Okay, no problem. Look at the next one. You took an impulse entry, well, like whatever broke the high, whatever. When the previous candle was too big, didn't work out. That's a rule for you. Write down that rule. Write that rule down. They're okay. Previous candle was too big, didn't work out. Great. If the buys don't play out, will the sales impulse work out since rejection? If the buys don't play out, will sales impulse entry work out since there's rejection to the left? No, you know what? I would still want price to break below this structure for it to push down. I would still want that. I would still want that to happen. Does it matter to trade during London session or only pre-London and London Open? Because I noticed you only come live during London session. Yeah, like pre-London has a lot of volume, and sometimes when there's lots of volume at pre-London, there may be no volume at London Open. Maybe. Now I'm not saying that you should just skip London session because Raja said if pre-London has volume, London will have no volume. It just depends. So a lot of times, like I look at pre-London. Sometimes there's a lot of volume before pre-London. I've been looking at this for the past 5 years. So then you start to build some sort of an intuition. But I'm going to be looking at a sell below this area, 2025. So we'll see. But anyway, I have a podcast later on, and I have to rest my throat for the next 3 hours. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll see you guys tomorrow. Anyway, take care. And if you've made money, just save it. If you're looking for buys, I would just wait for this candle to break and close above 40.38, and then we'll go from there. All right. Take care, everybody.